Okay, this is my 2018 Airstream Sport single axle, as you can tell, duh. And as you can see, I keep it in my driveway. It's on a little bit of a slope, and so what was happening was the skid guards in the back of the trailer were actually hitting the driveway right at about this spot right here. And I'd have to put some 2x4s down, 2x8s, and drive it up over the wheels just to make it into the driveway. So anyway, that wasn't acceptable, so I looked at getting a lift kit, and I saw that Dexter has that 3-inch lift kit for these trailers. The lift kit's already been put on. I did it with a buddy of mine in a couple of days, so I'm just kind of making this video afterwards. He didn't really want to stick around and once I made the video at the same time. So anyway, as you can see right here, the biggest problem with these is the really low clearance between the waste pipes and the ground. Prior to the lift kit, right here, this was actually another 3 inches lower. So this was sitting, you can see right about where my finger is, to the driveway, which is just really low for these type of trailers. I also read online, obviously, that a lot of people had problems getting them in and out of the of gas stations on trips. So this looks like a big improvement for me. I'll show you underneath and exactly what I did to put the kit on. Okay, here I am underneath the trailer here, and I'll show you the actual spacer. This is the spacer right here that you get from Dexter. This is the one they sell for this model. It's actually number 11 axle. If you don't know, you just call them up and give them your axle information from the serial number that's on the axle, and they'll tell you which kit you need. This kit comes in, basically it's for a double axle, so I have a second set, which a friend of mine has the exact same trailer, so we're going to actually do his trailer next week and raise it up. So down here you can see where the original bolts were to the trailer frame. So obviously the trailer frame is up here, and you can see the new bolts in here. So what we did was basically, there's the jack spot back over here, this metal plate. This is one of the jack spots for the trailer. I guess I should actually get it on video. We went ahead and raised the trailer up 3 inches, then loosened the bolts, the old bolts on both sides. And let's see on that side, the empty spaces. So went ahead and loosened up all the bolts. We went ahead and did this side first, being that it was actually going to be the hardest because of your propane line. The propane line originally actually feeds through, let's see if I'm getting that right, feeds through this spot right here originally. When you raise it up, it can't be in the same spot, so you have to move it. A little bit more difficult because you have to take the line apart, the propane line, which is basically, we undid these couplers right here, and then down on the other side, undid the couplers and pulled it through the other end. You do end up having to cut the copper right here and then reflare it to get it back together. So you do have to have a flaring tool. Home Depot sells them for like $15, $16. Very simple to use copper flaring tool. Reflared the pipe, screwed it back together, already checked for leaks, no problem. Anyway, once you get that taken apart, pull your copper line all the way through, and then you can go ahead and take out both bolts from this side of the trailer, and the axle will fall down, will come down that 3 inches that you need. You know, basically, if you just jack the trailer, yeah, up or down for whatever you need to fit the spacer in. Slide the spacer in and go ahead and put the bolts in according to the instructions. There is some where you need 2 washers and some where you just need 1 washer. Prior to that, though, back up a little bit. I guess I should have said that first. We did go ahead and scribe lines. You can see this line right here. I went ahead and scribed this line just to match up, to keep the trailer in line, the axle in line again when you put it back together with a spacer. So both sides are exactly the same. So go ahead and scribe both sides prior to loosening any of the bolts, so you know where to realign the trailer. Again, so go ahead and bolt this back up. This side's basically done once you do that. Then switch to the other side. Same thing. Actually took us, I think, just half hour doing the other side. Once we, jacked up the trailer, took the bolts out, put the spacer in, and rebolted it back up. That was, really it. On this side, did have to remove some of the electrical leads to the electric brakes. You just got to undo this clip right here, cut off the old ties, put new zip ties on there to hold the electric cable, brake cable in place. But that is really it. One thing you do need, it makes it a lot easier if you have a pneumatic air gun socket to get the bolt on. These things are extremely tight. As you can see, they got this little crimp mark, so they, basically don't come loose once you tighten them up. So some air tools help. Taking the bolts off makes it a lot quicker, because it is a little bit of a limited space under here to try and get it done. These took quite a bit of time, just even with the pneumatic gun, to get them tightened up. It's a little tricky. You do need to have several wrenches, crescent wrenches, as long as standard size. These bolts are metric, I think, are a 24 millimeter bolt. So, make sure you have some impact wrenches, impact sockets, and plenty of wrenches and crescent wrenches to get the job done. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Total time to do the job was about, I'd say 3 hours. And again, most of it was, not doing the job before and taking this copper line out. Took up probably most of the time, believe it or not. But anyway, that's it. I like how it turned out, and I'm looking forward to taking another trip with it with a little bit more road clearance.